Wow. So we had talked about earlier on, not in the podcast, when we were doing our pre-interview, we got into this topic. Has there ever been, it sounded to me like you guys hadn't got to the point yet that you were actually going to Always or one of those huge manufacturers who are making, and I checked this out, 75% net profit on those products. Um, Going back to those people and saying, hey, let's take some of that money that you're making off of the 19-year-old who is a single mom who's raising a kid and who can barely put food on the table and has to still buy period products. How can we make those people accountable for it is the question I'm asking you.
Yeah, for sure. So you're right. We have reached out to Always and other places and haven't. Diva Cup has sponsored us. They donate, as well as Joni, which is a Vancouver-based pad company. So definitely we have gotten some support, but the large ones, P&G, Tampax, that sort of thing, haven't heard much. And that's kind of where our advocacy team comes in. And that's why when you ask, like, how do the three pillars work separately and also together? So the advocacy team works towards, not only advocating for free period products and for period products to be subsidized, whatever, but also to make sure that these companies are held accountable in terms of how much do you donate, and also what the heck do you put in the products? Because that is a whole side thing, not even talking about the sustainability aspect of it. We have a sustainability team at Bleed the North as a part of one of our little like mini teams. It's like, how is this happening? There's so much waste. And why is no one talking?
Okay, well, let's talk more about that because I don't know anything about that. What is it made with dangerous chemicals? Is it like, what are you concerned about?
Yeah, so a lot of the products that menstruators are using is actually pretty toxic. For example, tampons, if you leave them in for more than like 8 hours, you risk getting toxic shock syndrome. Why isn't that an issue? Why is no one concerned about that?
And no one explains what it is either. I find myself as a woman, like, I've never really understood what it even was. And that's why I like your platform, because I did a deep dive on your Instagram and there's a lot of education behind certain things like that. So that's important that that's explained to people, like, hey, this thing that I'm putting into my body could harm me, and here's why.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, first of all, just in terms of the educational component, I think that's so important, because all you hear is like, if you leave a tampon in for 9 hours, your legs will fall off. Like, that's not helpful, like, at all. Like, talk about why this is an issue so that I'm educated enough to try and, fix it. You know what I mean? And that promotes the stigma about it. It's, you don't want to talk about it or your legs will fall off. Like,
how are you? I mean, it's to me, I love this kind of stuff because it's so eye-opening to me, because I have literally no point of reference except that I've been married for 30 years and I have a daughter, you know what I mean? So it's not like I haven't been exposed to this and it's part of our lives, and but I'm on the periphery of this, and I shouldn't be, because I'm an entrepreneur and I'm a business owner. And I am very community minded. Pace in general is very community minded, and this has flown under everybody's radar. And it's so basic. It's such a basic requirement of a lot of people.